The stories you've never heard. We go behind the laugh.
Ah, yes, it's back. They thought they'd shut it down, but no. For the first time, welcome back to Behind the Laughter, the Producers Podcast for 2025. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Multiple claps in the studio suggesting that not every, and Mitch, just a little bit. Sorry, guys.
Mine is a naive clap because I don't know where we're going to go with this.
That's not a producer.
No, it's not a producer. That's a captive voice we have here in the studio. First of all, we'll get to her in a second. You're back here with digital producer Nick. Hello, nice to be back. We've got Lachie behind the wheels over there.
Hello.
Lachie regained your spot behind the panel as well.
Yeah, well, Mitch is sitting in studio, and given what happened on, what was it, Tuesday?
We'll get there.
Wednesday morning?
We'll get there.
I figure it's probably a good thing that I at least familiarise myself with this thing once again.
Lovely. Yeah, so that's all right. It's okay. And, of course, executive producer Alicia, welcome
Hello,
back.
thank you.
Love it to have you back. You're on your normal chair because someone's in your chair, but it's now her chair. For the first time, the Producers Podcast, welcome Nikki Osborne.
Why, thank you very much. It'll be interesting to see your take on behind the scenes.
Well, this is great because this also gives us a nice opportunity to reset what we do here on the Producers Podcast. Now, originally this was, I guess, pitched as a way of helping our audiences get to know what goes on behind the scenes and an opportunity to explain a few of the little in-jokes and the things that the guys may mention on air that make no sense to the common man or woman. So we are like the bridge between the two worlds, but this actually gives us a great opportunity to fill you in as well. So listener, please come along on the journey because Nikki's going to be learning some things today as well. But look, for the first time, we may as well take this opportunity. We established, 6 weeks in?
Yes, 6 weeks.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
No, but yeah, I don't understand a lot of the boys' inside jokes. They're laughing and laughing and laughing. I'm like, am I the only one who doesn't know what they're on about right now?
Half the time I don't, Nikki.
Oh, see, that,
and I've been here for a year and a half, and I
And when they get onto sport, I'm like, what? They need to explain it to me like I'm in a kindergarten class, just so I know who's who.
Nikki, you would love this. I mean, radio is all about stealing content, right, and just repackaging it. I saw a TikTok. Basically, these people do gossip, but sport gossip. So that what they'll do is they'll recontextualize something that happened in sport, and they'll kind of make it all about the Kardashians or make it all about something that's kind of relevant in pop culture.
That's such a good idea. I mean, I'm starting to understand who's who.
Yeah.
But it's slow burn.
Yeah.
Look, it doesn't help that the majority of Ash and Luttsy's references are Broncos players from the late 90s, early 2000s, which even goes over my head. So I'm really enjoying your approach. You just headphones off, zone out instantly as soon as sport hits.
You know who doesn't like that approach? Brendan. He said, I saw you didn't talk at all during the Broncos talk the other day. I'm like, well, firstly, it was hard to get a word in.
Yeah.
And secondly,
They're
it's
passionate.
not my area of speciality.
Yeah,
Is that the word?
yeah.
Speciality?
Hey,
Don't make me spell
it's
that.
been a long week. We had a big party last night. We'll get to that soon.
I'm very hungover.
I get it. I get it. You went against what your manager
And
told
you
you.
locked the door and I can't leave.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Jeremy's downstairs just trying to
Trying to
break down the
rescue
door.
me.
I mean, for the record, the door's a pull, not a push, so we can try that again if we want.
Oh, come on, Nick.
No, it's okay, Nikki. I'm very much in your boat at the moment. I'm with you. I said to you last night, I think this is the first wall of the year. We get past the sort of the hype and excitement of the everything's back, it's loud, it's new, and then we're starting to get into our rhythm, and then we start to realise that Easter's still about a month away.
It's too far away. Why does Easter have to be so late? And why did we start a week earlier than everybody else? Why?
I was about to blame our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ for that, but we can bring that up another time.
Why couldn't you die a month earlier,
Yeah,
Jesus?
Jesus, bloody hell. The thing, like, honestly.
Ironically, the thing he overcame hell. So just for dying.
As our resident Christian, Lachie will defer to you on all of that. But let's
thank you.
Let's before we go into sacrilegious territory.
Christian. Sorry, that got me.
Yeah, but we have to have at least one.
Yeah.
What?
Christian.
Resident Christian.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh, Christian.
Yeah.
I thought you said question. I can't hear. I
That's
got
fine.
the sound off and my headphones
Yeah.
on. I told you,
definitely
I'm
isn't gonna help.
hungover. I was wondering, I'm taking these off.
That's
Yeah, that's-
fine.
that's
That's
fair.
fine. Look, and Nikki, this is a new medium for you because you're a presenter, you're an actor,
I
you're a
open the
dancer,
Olympics.
you open the Olympics.
That joke's not getting old at all.
Radio is a 1896 Olympics or.
No.
Oh.
Easy,
Low
Tiger.
blow.
You need to be specific.
Nikki Webster's not that haggard. Come on. Be kind.
I loved Nikki Webster. I did when she did that Zoo magazine shoot. Yes, I had that poster.
Well, you know who I love? Nikki Osborne.
Yeah, we love Nikki Osborne, and that's what we were here for today.
Thanks, Alicia.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'll open your emails.
For once.
I always open your emails. Hey, I respond. I open your Instagram messages, all of them.
Nikki, I guess my first question is, comedian, a lot of the work, I guess, your industry does is at night time.
Yes.
Your gigs are at night time.
Yes.
Breakfast radio is a completely different art form. How have you found the
I thought you said
transition?
asshole.
Well, I mean,
Bit of that as well.
how have you found the transition so far to performing and being on at this time when you've been so conditioned to be on at prime time at night?
It has been rather challenging, I must say. I'm so much quicker in the evening. Like last night, I was so much funnier.
The girl was on. She was on.
So I come in the morning, I'm like, come on, brain. It's just not used to firing that early. And I'm trying to work out how to get it going.
A listener party in the morning would be a fascinating thing. Obviously, like listening back through
the
that,
tables have turned.
Yeah, that recap that we had, and mostly everyone loved either the sausages or the free booze. Like those were the two things. You might get breakfast sausage if you did a morning listener event.
Oh.
You're not really getting breakfast booze.
It kind of proves we could just throw a barbecue if we wanted.
Honestly, yeah.
No, but my friend got married in the morning.
Oh, no.
Yes, a 6
No.
a.m. sunrise wedding.
Boo.
And I was in the
Boo.
bridal party. That meant
No.
the hair and makeup artist arrived
Oh.
at 2 a.m.
Oh, no.
Ah!
It was a heat wave.
Yeah, that
yes,
deserves that.
precisely. And it meant that the wedding was sober.
Oh, your friend's
This
the
is
worst
getting
kind
worse
of
and
person.
worse.
Look,
Yeah.
we're not friends anymore.
good.
I was the maid of honor too. But yeah, it was done by 11. I went home and then just went, did that happen?
Oh,
It
that's
was
so...
And that's what every breakfast radio show feels like to me. I'm
sure.
like, did that happen? And I always go home. I drive home and kind of flinch and cringe at some of the stupid things I said. And
Yeah.
then I reflect and go, oh, could that get me in trouble? Well, like so far, I seem to be coasting under the radar with some of the things I say.
So far, so good. I mean, obviously, we hear everything. We
Yeah.
consume things in different ways because we hear the promos, we hear the podcast, we see it live, we see it through footage as well. So we're consuming you guys 3 different ways. Don't worry, you haven't done anything wrong so far. All is good.
All right.
All is
But
good.
sometimes I talk about Asians, and then I talk about Russians, and then I talk about Germans, and
They make up a large percentage of the world's
they
population.
are, and it feels racist to call an Asian an Asian. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah,
Even though it's not.
I get it.
And
It's not.
I'm like, hang on, I just called them their nationality. Can I do that?
So the best thing to learn straight away is Luttsy can smell those nerves. The moment you start worrying about that, he will turn to you from this position right here and go, "Oh, you can't say that."
Yeah, no, he does.
yeah,
He
yeah,
does do
So
that.
you
He
have-
gives me these like
Yeah,
startled eyes.
yeah,
Going, whoa,
you-
whoa, 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 whoa.
So in that situation, you've got to block him out, and you cannot. If you give him any bait, he sees that you're wobbly on that, he will take
He'll
it.
tip it. Yeah.
He'll highlight it.
Yeah,
and get me
absolutely,
in-
and he'll make you feel bad for it.
Yeah, he
Not
he
in a
would.
negative way.
No,
He
not in a
he-
negative way.
That's
but,
his way of being
but,
funny.
but that is 101 out of the lateral playbook.
I have noticed
Yeah.
that one. He does this little twitch, and
Yeah.
his eyes are bright, and he's like, "Oh, danger!"
Because also you two, so where I'm standing right now is where Luttsy would normally sit. So you guys are a metre apart. So I guess this is your closest sort of radio relationship here.
Yes.
How do you find that dynamic? Like, what do you find?
Well, I find that I do
yeah.
banter with him more because he's right there, and I could punch him.
Yes.
So I feel that that's happened, and then I chat to Mitch because he's closer to me.
You've got a line of sight between the monitors around. We've described the panel before, but there's actually a line of sight right there. You and
Yeah.
Ash, however, are almost kind of blocked. We've had to tinker around the
Yeah.
studios and the chairs so you and Ash can
Well, I
actually
came
see each
in, I
other.
said, I can't see my co-host.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, it's been like that 15 years.
Yeah, he looks like Wilson from Home Improvement.
Basically,
Yeah,
I could just
With a little
see
hat.
his forehead. You know, he does his wrinkly forehead when he says something prophetic and then just pauses.
Yes.
Like that day he went, I'm a Broncos man.
Oh,
And just silence. I could just see his forehead.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm glad we fixed that. But yeah, Ash, I always look to Ash when I'm like, steady the ship, Ash.
Yes.
He's a good ship steadier.
Yeah, he's the big fullback of this
Do
show.
you think that comes from
Luttsy's the
rowing?
wave and-
Because he was the rowing call stroke
yes.
person.
Ironically, somehow he was the cox of the rowing boat.
Yes, he was
size of that man. It
and
doesn't
he was
make
the
sense.
biggest cox in his club.
I know.
Because he won the award for the greatest cox.
I mean, that was in the boarding house, but you know.
Yeah, but he should have a boat named after him, but they haven't done it yet. He's getting his nose out of joint. But yeah, because he's over there, I don't get the banter that I get with Luttsy. But also, I don't think he's much of a banter boy.
Luttsy enjoys it a lot more, I think.
Yeah. Luttsy likes the rubbish because he doesn't want to have to tell a story.
Yeah, so you get into repartee with Luttsy, and you're back and forth, and then it's kind of a bit of a fight for who gets the out. But I see a real nice combination brewing between you two.
Yeah, well, I think my introduction has made him step up.
Oh yeah, no, he's been on. He has been on.
Because he's way sharper than what I've listened to in the past. And
You were reviewing the tapes, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm coming into, and Luttsy's just been a different.
Yeah, he's stepped up. I'm like, you're doing well.
Yeah, we've been running the data. His jokes per minute are up at the moment. We've got the metrics pushing.
That's the language you would understand. And then Ash has just got funny takes on things. He's really funny in between breaks. It's such a shame because no, but he is. He gets up and he acts stuff out.
Yeah.
He does little role plays,
Yeah.
and they're really funny. I'm like, Ash, stop being good in between the breaks, because then we come on and he steers the ship.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about stats of that. I'm like, but do your little.
Oh no, we just want Bradnam to be free out of it. So we don't have the benefit of knowing what story Ash is telling off air.
No, you can just see
So all
him.
we see, so we just have to make it up. Out of context, Bradnam is one of my favourite things. I look in the studio, I see him dancing, going, okay, you know what? I don't care what this is. It's going up on socials, and we're just going to take a guess.
Yeah, right. I mean, a lot of it's absolute filth, and you can't air it.
Yeah.
Like Mitch, you would attest to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, didn't that happen this morning when Mitch turned the mics on and Nikki was like, oh my God, don't put that to air? Or was that with Maddie maybe the other day? Anyway.
There's been a couple
Oh.
moments the last few days, I think. Yeah.
I mean, the video they pulled out midway today. That was.
Oh, I haven't seen that. What'd you put
Oh,
up,
you
Nick?
missed that one.
Let me have a look. I'll pull up.
No,
that.
not on. No.
Oh, no,
Oh, the video of the boys.
Let's just say Ash
wanna
needs
know.
to delete his cookies.
That man,
Yes.
the stuff that he looks up on the work Wi-Fi,
He
scares
has
me.
no
It's a good-
fear.
Luke McHugh knows what you're looking up, Ash.
Technology 20 years got onto him about this, and he's told the story many times of how he's had his nose pulled because they go, by the way, we know what's going on your phone.
Yeah.
I think they've just got to a point going, we can't have this conversation with him every week.
Just let him.
Too far. Our threats aren't working.
No, he don't. No, he's completely unbothered, and Lutsy's never going to turn down a naughty video. So, and I've been fascinated because I'm getting a good glimpse into what it's like to have brothers.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
normally I'd imagine with a woman in their presence, they would not talk about such things. But I feel like I'm getting the brother insight, which I think is a circle of trust.
Yes.
So I'm in the circle of trust. So I shouldn't be breaking code by talking about it on the producer's podcast.
That's exactly what this podcast is. It's an outlet, honestly, for us to talk
Yeah.
about you guys.
The amount of
behind your backs.
interventions we've
Have
had
I
on this
annoyed
pod.
you guys yet? Have I done anything annoying?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you hesitated.
Well, I was trying to actually think about it. I was like, I don't think you actually have, which is nice. It's a nice.
Have I brought in a professional dynamic?
I think so.
Oh, don't
As
think
pro-
about
as
it.
professional as a comedian can be, I think it's.
Oh.
Oh,
You
no,
know.
that's too far,
Okay,
Alicia. You tried
clarifying.
too hard. Yeah.
There's
You
a-
put-
No,
you
I
put
know what you
staples
mean.
on it.
Like I'm a bit rough and ready on air, but I'm coming in prepared.
Yeah, you are.
There's an irony because this is a professionally unprofessional environment. We're kind of being unprofessional is what we're kind of all supposed to do. I mean, look at me. I'm still wearing my activewear, but this is
Yeah, it's
most
acceptable
comfortable.
to do that, or to come in without shoes, Mitch
I
Lewis.
still, I'm not wearing shoes.
Yeah.
I brought them in with
Never
me,
wears
and I got
shoes.
into the studio 4.5 hours ago, and I still.
When Mitch was running late the other day, he just came in with no shoes.
Well, he
like,
thought his
even
shoes
brought
were
with
in
him.
the car,
Yeah.
and they weren't.
No.
I do that sometimes. I drive to
No
work
shoes the
though
whole day?
without my shoes on, and sometimes I get to work and I go, did I bring socks? And you're not going to do an entire work day, with no socks on.
I do.
Really?
Yeah, my feet don't smell.
Okay, well,
That's my superpower.
I'm
Wow.
not blessed by
Have you ever had
No.
any supplements inserted into your feet?
No, I don't
What
know
a weird
why. I
accusation.
just don't get
Botox
stinky
is what-
feet. No, no, I'll get.
Because that would stop you from sweating, sure.
I'll get stinky
that would make sense,
pits.
but
I think it all just comes out the armpits, but I don't get stinky feet. And I feel like I gross everyone out sometimes when I'm not wearing socks and
Fine.
just runners.
No. I think that's fine. I think it would be weird if I did it because you definitely would smell, and it's probably a good thing that I'm in my own producer's booth if that's the case.
Yeah.
But I'm yet to actually rock up to work without socks. It's just that fear that kind of hits me at 2 minutes to 5, and I look over on the spare seat and go, where are those socks? Oh, they're the black ones. They're kind of hidden.
What time do you guys get in the morning? What time do you get in?
At
Coffee?
5.
You arrive at 5?
Yep.
Mitch, we all know you
Bullshit.
get in.
Yeah, no, most of it, yeah.
You'll get
Yeah,
in
I'm
7.
like 4:59.
4:59.
And a half for a 5 o'clock
for a
start.
5 o'clock
Gee, that's an early
He's a
start.
Luttsy.
Alicia, when are you?
Yeah,
When do you
5.
get in? 5? Nick?
5:59.
5:59.
I turned up. I turned
yeah.
up and saw Luttsy coming in at 5:59, so I said I'm coming in at 5:59.
Yeah.
Well, I did 5:57 today.
Proud of you.
Ooh. How did
was
that
late,
feel?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How did that feel?
I was nervous.
I suppose you weren't coming from as far away today, were you?
No, I wasn't. I feel like I pushed it a bit far because
the
I had to
city.
catch an Uber and I didn't really factor in
False sense of security.
the waiting for the
yeah,
Uber.
and it was the
yeah.
waiting for the
Yeah,
Uber,
okay.
and it just kept blowing out. I'm like, oh no.
Because we all have our own like pre-show routine that we do. For me, it's like if there's any bios that we have to do, if we've got a guest coming up on the show, I know that that'll take me roughly 10 minutes per bio to do, and then I'm printing all the sheets, that kind of thing. And so that's kind of, I factor that into my hour before the show routine. And then if I'm lucky, I'll make myself a coffee. But other than that, like that hour is just doing show prep. Your show routine, you've established obviously the chai. That's
Yeah, I
something
come in, I make a chai, I read your emails.
Okay.
of the
How
work
long does a chime take to make? 'Cause
About
I
A
heard
Nikki
about
chai.
20 minutes.
it's 10 to 15
Yeah.
minutes. It
Yeah,
takes
okay.
a
We might have to do a video on this. I'd love to
Yeah.
go through Nikki's pre-game routine.
yeah, it takes a while, but it steadies me
Yeah,
in
no.
the morning.
That's probably a good thing, though. You don't want to feel rushed. You want to make sure that you feel kind of anchored, you feel well rested, you feel ready to go. And then usually, are you thinking on the drive in about the stuff you're going to be talking about, or is it, I'm not going to think about work until I'm at work?
No, I think about it.
Okay.
I just, because I don't listen to the news on the way in, I listen to the radio.
Yep.
And I think about what funny stories that have happened to me ever.
Yeah, sure.
And I add them to my notes.
Yep.
So then I've always got a back catalogue that I have to call upon for about 7 breaks a show.
We've been...
It must be a fascinating exercise, almost like some kind of therapy where you have to, at any point, dig deep into the memory banks going, I have something for this.
Yes.
Rather than, I guess, your other art form, which is more prepared jokes, setups, etc., the world of stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different medium, and I guess so far, how do you find preparing for radio versus stand-up?
Radio is much easier and I cry less. No, stand-up, you tell jokes and you tell them to, you pace around. I pace around with a
You're a
hairbrush.
pacer, yeah.
Yeah.
I do the hairbrush.
Oh, hairbrush microphone.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And you start from the top, which is always hard starting from the top because, my show's an hour and 20. So, you've got an hour and 20 to go through and that's just once.
Yeah.
And then you're like working through your stand-up, you're doing that joke and then you'll go, no, it could be funnier like that. And then you'll change the spin on it a bit. You'll be like, no, oh, that's shit. I suck. I hate this. I'm quitting. That's what happens to every comedian. And then you get blocked on jokes where you're just like, I know there's a funnier way out of this. And yeah, stand-up is really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Did you
It's
ever...
hard.
I failed miserably at it. That's why I've never touched it again. It was just not something I could do.
I didn't know you did stand-up, Nick.
When did you do that?
I made multiple attempts in my
Did you do
mid-20s.
Raw?
I did.
That was on last night. One of my mates made it through the next round because he was a
yeah.
part of the Raw Comedy Fest.
I crashed out straight sets 3 times.
Yeah.
Just not my... I can talk and go off on tangents forever, but comedy a certain type of comedy requires setups and a very
And there's a
structured
particular
path.
energy
And there's
Yeah.
an energy, yeah.
that you have to go. You got to go in quick. I have like a rapid fire jokes for like the first 3 minutes, and then you get into a story.
yeah.
And then it's algebra.
It is. It's
And
an algorithm. It's incredible.
a pacing thing. You've got to get the pace right. I have a feeling you might go too fast.
100%.
Yeah.
And then another 10 thoughts will enter my head as I go.
And I'm watching 20 right now.
And I want to chase all of them.
Yes, no. You've
No,
got
no.
to be really disciplined. And the hardest part is when you've got a good show and you have to do it over and over and over again, you start beating yourself up for doing old stuff, even though that's what people are coming to see. And it's like, oh, I want to do something new every time. And it's like, no, do your set, and you get bored with your own jokes.
Yeah, the whole crowd has not seen what you did the night before.
Correct. Unless you're on a cruise ship and they think you're doing a different show and they come watch the exact same thing and yell out the punchlines. And you're like, thanks a lot, Louise.
Has that happened to you?
Yes.
On a cruise? Oh, gosh.
Yeah. It's like, no, this is the same show again. It's
Do
like
you
a
have
session, like
do you
a
have
movie session.
like a safe test crowd that you kind of friends?
My
friends?
mum.
Okay, and so you just do your set for your mum, and she
doesn't know it though. We go out for chai
Oh,
and I'll sit there and I'll start telling the story.
fantastic.
And then I note where she's giggling or I note where she's not giggling. She's also a moral compass.
Yeah, okay.
And then that's how it starts. And then I'll tell someone else. And then I'll tell two people together. And that's how I work my story.
There you go.
Wow.
Because I went to see one of my favorite comedians last year as a birthday present. Guy Montgomery is a New Zealand comedian.
Yep.
And I just think he's funny. His delivery on certain things, like in this one show that he did, I think you can watch it on. He's uploaded the whole thing to YouTube. But the way he says film, he just says film as just a joke, as just a throw. Like it's not. It's just a dumb thing that he does. But you hear him the first time, you go, is that a weird speech impediment? And because he says the word like 10 times throughout the set, you go, oh, this is actually a joke, and he's really just committing to it.
Oh, no, he probably does say that. My dad says film. He can't say film.
Really?
He can't say film.
Okay.
This is a thing.
Because I thought this was like one of his bits. But what was interesting, I went to see him. I thought it was hilarious. We get out of there, and I'm talking to my brother who paid for the ticket and was like, oh, happy birthday. I was like, oh, what do you think of it? He's like, yeah, I kind of watched it all on YouTube before, or like because he reuses jokes, or like he'll upload the highlights obviously to his Instagram. He's like, yeah, I heard a bunch of those jokes before, so it wasn't that good. I was like, what do you mean? Like, why are you watching a comedian before you go to see them? In case, like, understand if you're going to a concert, you might listen to the music. You might go, Coldplay, they're going to play Yellow, they're going to play Fix You. It's so good. The experience live is euphoric. Jokes, I feel like you can only really hear them once or twice before it kind of loses its punchline, right? It like kind of loses its...
Well, yeah, you wouldn't
The
want
whole-
to go and
Here comes the
ruin
misdirect.
it.
I just want to hear the misdirect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, God, that was good.
Yeah.
It's like reading a book before the movie. That's just not the right thing to do. Stop reading books.
I loved your line about that the other day.
Yeah, well, I stand by that one. It's a funny line that it's my get out of jail free card for just not reading.
Well, look, I think we'll do a lot more of this with Nikki throughout the year. So we won't completely burn you out here. It's okay. I know we've got you as a captive audience, and we'll turn on each other just for a bit, just so you know what goes on behind the scenes here.
Yes, do.
We're 6 weeks in. We apologise to
we've done a
our
whole 6 weeks.
our long-time producers pod audience who have
big
been
fans.
dying to hear our bickering. So far, look, I'll put my hand up and say that at the start of the year, I said, guys, you know what? I'm going to come in a bit earlier, okay? I think I can really add a bit more to this team by coming in a
did
bit
say
earlier.
that, yeah.
And that lasted all of 3 days.
I don't even think that, did
I
it?
don't even think that. I just want to self-declare there, if that's the case.
Thank you.
Does
Thank
anyone
you for your
else
self-declaration.
just want to put their hands up and just... Now's the time. Because Nikki, I'm sure, has made observations and she may be curious. So this is why we self-declare.
I'm trying to think of
You get a lighter penalty if you plead guilty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to think of things that I may or may not have done, and I'm struggling to think of anything. Alicia,
I've been perfect, as I always am, ever since I started.
Yep.
No.
Oh
no.
No.
Okay.
You upset me one day, Alicia.
Oh,
what did I do?
This is definitely the forum for this.
Yes.
I had a meeting with Five Arms
Yeah.
the day before. He said, I want you to bring phoners into the show.
Yeah.
I want you to do it
That is a phone topic for listeners.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what this is. Yeah.
and solicit for calls. And I said, but I'm nervous that I'll do it at the wrong point in the show.
Oh no.
And that, I might do it and then they can't take calls because of
is
something.
this,
He
is
said,
this
no,
the 740 incident? That okay.
He said, no, just go for it. Do it tomorrow. Don't tell anyone you're going to do it. Start on a story, solicit. And I did. And that was the first time I'd done it. And then Alicia walks in and says, no, we can't take calls because we're doing Throwback Throwdown.
Yeah.
Throwback Throwdown is an immovable.
And I felt so embarrassed.
And no, we loved it, but don't take Brendan's advice.
No.
Ooh. What did Brendan give any feedback after? Did you talk to him?
I
after?
texted him as
and
soon
what,
as it happened.
what did he say?
I said, I did what you said.
Yeah.
I solicited for a phoner and they closed the phone lines because it was going into Throwback Throwdown. My confidence is 0.
Oh no.
I felt so bad, but like, yeah, it was not.
Anyway, I'm
did he
learning.
respond? I'm interested to know what his response to that was. Did he? Was it?
He just did a exclamation mark emoji on it.
Oh,
That checks out.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks out.
But you understand the theory behind benchmarks, right?
Kind of. You keep
No?
saying
See,
benchmarks.
but again, these
Yeah.
so again, for listener and Nikki, a benchmark. Lachie and Alicia, can you please explain what a benchmark
It's
is?
it's the kind of things that we do weekly that don't.
I mean,
they don't move.
budge.
Some of them can
Yeah.
be moved and some others don't. So, for example, Throwback Throwdown has been such a long-standing one. People know to expect it at 7:50
On a Wednesday.
That's one of
Do
our
they?
favourite.
Because I still
Yeah.
get surprised.
Yeah.
Like,
You're only 6 weeks in. It's
Yeah,
fine.
Wednesday and Thursday at 7:50.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
Smarter Than Who never gets moved for anything.
I noticed
Yeah.
when I had my dumb complex at the start, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
but-
I'm not doing
but
this,
you're on
and
a
they're like,
14-game
whoa,
run.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
You're part of a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned very quickly that I can't diva on certain areas.
I'm concerned
You may
that
never
people
lose
think
again.
that we have now rigged Smarter Than Who because
Absolutely
you're on
not.
such a winning streak.
I know, and I keep
After
winning.
being so
But then
downtrodden on yourself.
I had so many smart people at the start, and I think you've changed the questions
No,
slightly.
I don't think so at all.
I can guarantee you they haven't.
There were so
I
many
write-
smart people at the start, right? And I just kept
I
falling
think
over.
you've just found your confidence in
Yeah.
the game.
Honestly,
I think at the start you were too worried.
can I declare?
about it.
Can I declare something?
Yeah.
I got asked to because this is real behind the scenes tea, and we can maybe edit this out. if
No,
this-
play on.
I think Buzz maybe asked you, is there some topics that you're not so confident in?
Yeah, I said geography.
Yeah, and I got asked to remove some geography questions, or
Yeah.
at least limit the geography
And
questions.
that's why I'm winning.
Well, here's the thing.
didn't.
I didn't.
What?
Yeah.
We asked
He
today.
went against what everyone told him to
Oh.
do. And just,
Oh, well, they're being easier.
Well-
they're being Australia.
Well, no. Here's the
No.
thing. I was like, do you know what? I respectfully disagree with this, so I'm just going to keep some geography questions in there because there's only one a week. There's only one geography question a week.
Yeah.
And it's like, which ocean is the Pacific
Islands.
Ocean?
I
The
nearly
Cook
got
Islands.
that one wrong. I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was Indian or Pacific.
But you got it right, and it shows that you actually knew the answer.
Yeah,
And
but-
so there's a couple of those things that I was like, do you know what? I reckon if it's just a confidence thing, I firmly backed the idea that it was a confidence
And
thing.
probably also, I'm not worried about, when I'm on air, when I'm off air. Like,
Yeah.
there was a lot going on. I was like,
the first couple of weeks, admittedly, from a behind the scenes perspective,
nuts.
there was a lot that was being thrown at you in the first couple of weeks, and I think now you've kind of found
was
a
hardcore,
confidence. You
yeah.
found your groove within the show, and you're doing. Honestly, today I was like, I wonder how Nikki's going to go.
he came into our
because-
booth and was like, "She's going to lose today,"
well-
and I was like, "I don't know." And then
Well,
he got 5 for 5.
no. It wasn't. It was mostly because there was some really.
I think
there-
he was a bit cocky in his question, right? And he was like,
No, there was some prickly
tough
questions in there,
question
and then
today.
because I knew you'd had a big night last night, and I was like, I'm not
thought
sure
I'd
how
be
she's going to go.
dusty.
But you got 5. I was like,
I did.
wow, that was incredible. And that was not. I'm not trying to like undermine your intelligence at all because I think you actually are really smart. I think Luke said something really dumb in that office that day that really kind
Oh,
of
let's
killed
not
your
bring
confidence.
that up, yeah.
No, let's bring it up.
Yeah, let's. Who?
Way to
There was-
hit a
yeah,
nerve.
there
I
was-
find that I've got a lot of raw nerves, and
it's
everyone
a
seems to
very
nail them here.
It's a very popular segment on our show, Smarter Than Who, and it has happened in the past where so many people are trying to call, the phone lines literally break.
It's more of an indictment
And
on
it-
our phone line
it's
system.
it's an awful system. That's a conversation for another time. But it happened early on in your run. So many people wanted to play against you that the phone lines broke. And our tech team made a joke. Obviously, this was off air. And they said, it's because they think you're so easy to beat and they want the cash.
Yes.
And that was
Not a
when
great
you
joke.
were not feeling great.
That
about
was on. I remember I had a dummy spit that day
Yeah.
as well
Yeah.
on air because I
Yeah.
just felt stupid.
yeah. And as a producing team, you're going, oh no, like,
Yeah.
oh,
Outside of it, a voice from outside of our control
yeah.
changed things, and we're going, oh, this is okay. But at the same time, I'm going to barrel down the camera here. Tex, We love you. You run this building. You're in charge. Just praise be to the tech department. Never get the techs offside.
But no,
rule for radio.
all that to say, I think you're doing a great job at Smiling Who, and I think that you have found a confidence, and that has been honestly some exhilarating radio. Going, I wonder how she's going to go today. I wonder, and you've been getting 5 from 5,
Keep
and I haven't
to fall over it. Like,
I haven't tweaked the questions. I promise that I haven't made them any easier. Like we're
not giving her a heads up on them.
Behind the scenes,
Yeah.
I'll let you know that there's going to be a general trivia question every day. And do you know what? From trivia writing, it's so much easier once you find a kind of theme and then you just ask a bunch of questions around it. So the Scrabble board is one of my favorite things to go back to.
I think I've lost
He always
most of
does
those.
Scrabble. He always
Scrabble,
does...
the NATO phonetic alphabet is another
Yeah.
treasure trove because that's 26 questions.
If you were
that can
born
just
on
write.
this day, what would your star sign be?
That's another one that I
your
love
area.
doing.
Well, that one's
that
good.
is in your area.
I've won a few on that one.
What's another one that I love going? I mean, the
Periodic
periodic table is
Periodic
another.
table.
Any science question is probably going to be a periodic table question. So if you're listening to this right now, you're wanting to get through for Smiling Who. I mean, I guess I'm revealing the secrets
Actually,
to
can
both.
I get a printout of all of those?
I guess the general
The periodic
questions.
table, the NATO.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to
thing.
do that.
Yeah, ethically, I'll allow that.
Well, I'm declaring it to both
I'm
the
only
listeners.
saying it. I'd do it myself, but
Yeah.
I don't have a printer. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
fair.
being practical.
That's fair. I'm happy and willing to do that because someone listening to this right now who's going to try and
They'll
get
do the
through.
same.
They would probably
Can do the
they
exact
would have
same.
had the
I
same
swear
thought
most
anyway.
people
Kids would have a
have-
periodic table poster in the bedroom,
Yeah.
wouldn't they?
I love the thought that someone's called up for Smiling Who and they've got the periodic table in front of them. They've got the NATO phonetic alphabet.
Surely
they've got the
somebody
Scrabble.
is that
And
dedicated.
then you ask them about star signs. And
Yeah.
Like, God damn it!
The one thing I didn't print out.
Going through the newspaper really quickly. Come on.
Now
Oh,
there's
that's funny.
There's some university researcher right now just tearing their hair out, trying to get that $1,500 for a grant. Just
Yeah.
not happening.
I know. I feel bad when I hear
103 PhDs.
when I hear afterwards that they're teachers and things, and I'm like,
But that's
geez.
That's
But
why we've got to
that's
leave
the
you
thi-
out of it when
But
we
that's
first
the
talked.
thing about trivia.
It's trivial.
It's trivial. There's no rhyme or reason to being good at trivia. And usually, if you're good at trivia, you're likely bad at a lot of other things.
okay, can we not say that after my winning streak? Like, can I have a win? If I'm losing, I'm dumb.
Look,
if
you-
I'm winning, I'm no good at anything else.
14 wins in a row,
Yes,
heading into the
come on.
weekend.
Woo!
Mate, come on.
She has
Thank
never
you.
sung Anthony Warlow.
It's true.
No, yeah, we need
Never
to get
sung
that.
that.
Have you heard Anthony Warlow?
It's from Jekyll and Hyde.
Luttsy
Is that
sung it
what
a
it's
couple of
from?
times. Do I
Okay.
have to sing it?
No,
Yeah,
no.
everybody sings
yeah.
it, yeah.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
sings it.
It just depends how you feel.
Except
you know.
they will try and change the words to "This is the scrotum." They've tried to do that a few times.
Yeah. You're going to have to sing very loudly into the mic.
Yeah,
so
just sing louder.
the
trick is
kiddies
sing-
can't hear
trick
it.
is sing louder.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
is this
all
like
right.
a jinxing situation?
No.
No, because I feel like every day there's being a jinx. And,
Yeah, well, because I'm always like, oh, you're going to kill it today. And Luttsy's looking at me like, how don't you dare?
and I
Once
come in
again,
going,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sharp today.
Yeah.
It's like I'm jinxing
Once again, a
myself.
Luttsy gaslight.
Yeah, okay,
Another
yeah.
example.
So on Luttsy's gaslighting,
Hmm.
this is a pro tip we can give you.
Yes.
Some days Luttsy will come in hot. Usually, and you can time it. If he's dressed really well, it's likely he has like an MC event or
Yes.
something that day. So
Yes.
he's on. He's really on because he's getting his gear ready for what he's performing later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Can you
He-
just search in the library there?
Performing is a
gaslight?
loose term.
'Cause
Yeah.
we've got this-
Hey, as MCs, it's not performing. It's just talking into a microphone and keeping people alive for 4 hours.
Managing drunk people.
Pretty
Yes.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, he may sometimes just decide that he's going to try and throw you.
Oh, he does that, does
Yeah,
he?
he will. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. One morning, he might just try. So if you can feel that
During what?
during Smarter
Smarter
Than
than
Who.
Who.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he'll set it up
just a
about
chaos
half,
monster.
yeah, about half an hour beforehand. He'll start and he'll misdirect because he'll start going after Ash. And he'll
Okay.
start throwing Ash's confidence. So then Ash's questions are all off. And then he's going to allude to that going, oh, geez, Ash is all over the shop. What he's doing is he's actually trying to throw you.
Oh.
There's no reason for it. It won't be a certain amount of money or anything like that. But know that
He just
once
likes the
he's
power.
off,
Yeah,
It's
he
the
likes
power.
just block him out.
What's
I do feel like I'm permanently blocking him out.
That's the best thing to do.
And when those two get going, I just...
Oh, no, they're off. Yep.
Oh,
That-
have a nice day, boys.
That-
I'll
yeah,
check
they-
in later.
They have been together for 20 years. They are an old
I
married
have
couple. They have their
noticed.
own language.
They do. And often, I'll tell you what hurts my feelings.
please?
Is
Please.
when Ash will
Safe
go,
space.
well, Mitch will go, oh, do you have something? Do you have some gear for the next break? And Ash will go, yeah, I want to talk to Luttsy about something. And I just sit here
Oh.
going, oh, I might as well just turn my mic off and back away. It's interesting.
Do you ever say that to him? What about me?
I've said it once. I said, "Oh, definitely don't tell me then."
See, in my mind, I hear that as in I've got one question for Luttsy, and hopefully a conversation starts around that. Like
That's his code for help me out, brother.
Well, almost. Yeah, it's like
Save me from towel talk.
Yeah. I'm like, Luttsy, have you ever heard about the movie Blah? And yes, I have. And it's like, that's what he wants to ask Luttsy. And then all this, the conversation, the room becomes the conversation.
Well, that's all right. I just feel like it's like, I just don't want to talk to Nikki about it.
Oh, no,
not personal.
no.
I'm a very sensitive person.
No.
I'm a Cancerian. I just hide it.
I'll bring
Anyway.
lots of blankets in for you for Monday.
Blankets.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice weighted
Feel
blanket
nice
for the
and
show.
cozy,
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not cold.
Don't get hurt.
All right, that'll wrap us up. Thank you very much. As we said, Smarter Than Who, $1,500 on Monday.
on Monday for the Oscars.
Make sure-
That'll be
Oscars
fun.
Monday. Yeah.
We can talk dresses with the boys because
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
you know what?
Can we just talk some menswear?
Yeah, I know,
Well,
right?
Something I'm passionate about.
Well, yeah, I'll talk about the
let's
dudes
do it.
as well. I'm not
I am passionate about
exclusive
seeing
like
another
that.
100 men turn up in suits. Original.
No, but some of them wear really
Tell us how you
cool-
really feel.
Yeah.
cool
Wow.
ones.
Jeez.
No, but something I can share with you
Yeah.
is the main theme at that party last night is a lot of women came up and said keep hammering them with the astrology and the kind of more psycho
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
They love it. And even Ash is getting on board now. I mean,
He
he's
is,
starting to
isn't
get
he? Yeah.
sucked into the vortex because whether you like it or lump it, it still affects you.
Mm.
And you're trying to work out, does it? Is that me? Is that me? You're still interested to prove it wrong. Anyway, I'm just saying.
I'm
There you
excited.
go.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
More of that to come.
Very nice. Well, thank you, Nikki, for being part of the first Producers Podcast
Thank
of the year.
you.
Lovely to have you. We'll now put the codes in and let you out of the studio.
Excellent.
Be
Thank
off,
you.
Be off about your weekend.
My
Yes.
husband, he just texted me. He's
Still
on
at the bar.
He's on his way with the jet ski.
Oh, exciting.
I mean, if he pulled up on the river, that would actually be sick.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That's too rock and roll for him. I think he's quite dusty too.